I don't know how to start this video. I really don't. I don't know where to go with this. And the reason I don't know where to go with this is because, on the one hand, it feels true. It feels like it's not false information at all. Like it feels legit. But on the other hand, we had shit before the original Switch launched that, a bunch of leaks that felt legit. And then when it finally launched or finally was announced officially by Nintendo, it was all a lie. And it was all made up crap, and it was comedy. Well, in some cases, we had oh god, I can't remember his name. Somebody can tell me in the comments section. He started the whole Joy-Con boys thing. Remember him? He did a little fake Switch thing, or before the Switch ever came out, NX thing, where he had the game thing or something. At one point, he did a little skit where he went out the door and there was like lube sitting there and whatnot. It was crazy. It was fucking crazy. Anyhow, so we're seeing similar things happen right now, and it feels false. I want to get excited, but I can't get excited over something that just feels off. And there's a lot of reasons for it. And I'm going to go ahead and break it down. I'm going to go ahead and show you. And yes, usually I get my news, not necessarily from Twitter, but from news outlets that will post on Twitter. And sometimes I'll just go straight to the news outlets, but this is the one that gets me. Mm, excuse me. This is what gets me. So, Switch 2 images and specs leak. There's been an update with an image lineup with what partners were shown. So the images that leaked they line up with everything that partners say that they were shown. Everything's just kind of lining up, but it feels wrong. And I'll tell you why it feels wrong. Nintendo's not known for doing a new device with minor updates, and that's what this looks like. Like, it doesn't look a whole lot different from the original Switch. I mean, look at this. It's just a render, but look at this. It's the Switch. It's the Switch. So yeah, there was an update. It said VGC says that these leaked Switch 2 images line up with the final design Nintendo partners were shown recently. Nintendo, that was the other thing that I didn't even touch on it. I didn't even talk about it. I didn't do a video on it. I should have. I was depressed. I didn't feel like going anywhere. I didn't feel like doing a damn thing. I felt out of it. I've been dealing with a lot of depression. But recently we had a bunch of third-party indie, mostly indie, developers that were invited to Nintendo of America to look at the Switch successor. And they're saying that these images line up with that. So that's why it feels legit. And it doesn't, but at the same time, it doesn't feel legit because it's not Nintendo's MO, unless they're changing course. And that might be the case. They might be just changing course. They're not doing things the way that they used to do. They're moving away from their old ways, which in a way can be good, in a way could be bad. But yeah, while the images are unverified, one source who has not seen the final Switch 2 console but has been briefed on Nintendo's plans told VGC that the Reddit images match what the company has told partners to expect from its design. So, in other words, the design is not supposed to be much different than the current Switch. I guess it's just a winning everything. Everything about it is just such a winner. Maybe this is the first time Nintendo will actually call something a 2. Nintendo's never called anything a something 2, right? Of course, it hasn't always worked out to call something a something then a something. Like, let's look at. I think it kind of worked out with the Super Nintendo, because we had the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, the Famicom, Super Famicom. You know. So then we had the later on we had the Nintendo 64, and then we had the GameCube. Then we had Wii and Wii U. Did that work out? Did that naming convention work out? No, it fucking didn't. The Switch, not sorry, but the Wii U was a terrible name. There was a lot of marketing issues. They don't want to confuse people. They want to be very clear and concise with what this device is. Of course, they're going to stick with the name Switch, and they're just going to call it the 2. I kind of wish they wouldn't. And maybe it's just the nostalgia in me, but I would have liked for it to have been called the Super Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo Super Switch. That was something I was really hopeful for, but I don't think Nintendo likes to go back to old monikers. They don't want to go back to Super. They don't want to go back to Advance. They don't want to go back to, definitely don't want to go back to new, quote unquote, new. They don't want to go back to new. They don't want to go back to, yeah, just any of that. So it would make sense that they would probably go ahead and just call it the Switch 2. But the original post, they talked about it was a bunch of leaks on a Chinese forum, which allegedly reveals the Switch 2 via production photos and mock-ups, along with specifications which match those of the shipping material, the shipping manifest leak from several months ago. Take this as you will at present, as it is hard to verify the information. Here's what has happened online so far. We had stuff like this that felt really legit during the original Switch's launch. We had stuff that felt so damn legit. Everybody was sure of it, and then no. Completely false, completely wrong, completely fabricated. The initial version of the NX, what we thought it was going to be, was just so well, we were all tricked so well. And then, of course, what's his name? Again, all I can remember is Joy-Con Boys. I cannot remember his name. The dude was hilarious. I miss him. You know, we had him with a little device. It was supposed to be that matched up with the mock-up, and then it turned out all fabricated. It just reinforces. So my worry is that they're just really clever, and they're just really hammering it home that this is what it's going to be. But I have a hard time believing this. I do. I do. So the HGU 1100 game console itself, left Joy-Con, right Joy-Con, dock, detailed configuration list, the SoCi GPU plus CPU plus GPU model, GMLX 30RA1 memory model. Wow, I'm not going to go over this. What the hell? Uh, dual channel LPDDR5X 7500 MTs. I gotta look up what this shit means someday. Not today. Flash memory module. What is this code? What is this code? 256 gigabytes. That's it. We're only going to get 256 gigabytes of internal data, however you want to say it, storage. That's your internal. Is the flash memory the storage, or is it not? I think it's storage. What is the current Switch storage? You know what? Let's see. Nintendo Switch internal storage. Uh, 64 gigabytes. Okay. Well, I mean that is an uptick from what they had. Personally, I think they should put a terabyte, but they have partners. That's the thing. You have to realize Nintendo has partners for memory. They partner with SanDisk and other companies, so they want to sell those peripherals. They want to sell those extras on the side and make money that way. They have partners on this stuff. So it would make sense they wouldn't put that much storage. And admittedly, that's like, God, that's more than God. Calculator time, people. Calculator time. What is all these apps that keep getting so solitaire? Um, so 256 divided by 64. Four times. It's about four times that it's in there. 256 divided by 64. So that's four times the data that was in the original Switch. Four times the internal storage. 256 gigabytes divided by 64, I think, is 4. So there's 4 in there. There's at least 4. At least 4 times the storage. So that's good. The audio chip. What is this? I got to look this up now too. It hasn't. I didn't know there was like special audio chips still. Well, I mean, obviously there would be an audio chip, right? Obviously there would be an audio chip, and it just wouldn't work the way they used to. I can't. I hate that it's just bringing up Nintendo shit and not actually going over this chip. You know what? Let's get rid of this and just put up the put the word. No, 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 no. Okay, I don't know. But anyhow, that's their sound chip. I'm not getting anything on it. The NFC reader. So there's an NFC reader, built-in microphone. There's a built-in microphone? There's a built-in fucking microphone. I don't know if there's a built-in microphone on the current Switch. I don't think there is. Maybe they're finally embracing voice chat in games. Please, for the love of, please, for the love of God, for the love of Mike, for the love of Michael O'Malley, please, for the love of Michael O'Malley, please, I am begging you, I'm begging you, for the love of criminy, please, let there be voice chat in games coming up. I mean, you got to do this. You got to do this. I mean, then all you need is just some headphones on, and you can be playing with friends like that, or, there might be wireless headphones, So that's good. Built-in microphone. Damn. Are the built-in microphones in the unit itself, or is the built-in microphone in one of the Joy-Cons, Because if you have it docked and you're going to be talking to people, shouldn't you have the Joy-Cons right in front of you talking, maybe? I don't know. Or maybe a Bluetooth headset will work and it'll tap into that technology. I'm thinking wirelessly. I don't know. I'm speculating because this is pretty freaking exciting. Um, Dual cooling fans. I don't think there was what, one fan in the Switch? I think, something, copper gaming heatsink. Oh, video signal conversion. Display port to HDMI, must be chip model. It's all right here. Supports HDMI. Now, this a lot of this could admittedly be in the dock. They're not saying where this is stored, really. They're not going into detail about where all this technology is stored. So again, the microphone could be in the Joy-Cons. The microphone could be anywhere, and it could be tapped in via Bluetooth with a headset, which would be boss. I hope that kind of thing is going to happen. Network chip model. Rooming something. Oh, a gigabit Ethernet chip. The base has a network cable interface. Ah. Okay, so the dock has a network interface. Okay. Microcontroller chip model. I don't know. Video game console protective case. Protective case. Are they going to include a protective case with this, or are they talking about something else? Are they talking about the plastic shell? The shelling that goes over it. Speakers. Musebox L, Musebox R. What does that mean? But yeah, so then we look at some of the pictures. So a lot of these are renders. This is why it's so hard to believe. This is the original Switch. This is the new one. Notice the vents are right here, but then they're right here. I'm thinking the dock might have something that sits up to the vents and helps keep it cool, possibly. I don't know. Joy-Con. See, is that the right Joy-Con? Because if that's the right Joy-Con, we're seeing some extra button work going on over here. And they talked about extra buttons and stuff. I might be wrong. So there's like two buttons on the right Joy-Con right here. And the left Joy-Con still has the same old buttons. Wait a minute. There's a thing like the sensor. Remember the sensor that the current Switch has on one of the controllers, where you can kind of do this weird jerky shit with it. But they got what looks like the same thing on the other side. This is like a complete thing. I don't know. See, this looks hard to believe. Again, these are all just renders. That doesn't tell you a whole lot. And then we switch over. This is supposed to be, again, this could be all fake as hell. It feels legit, but it could be fake as hell. And that's what's bugging me the most. But yeah, you'll notice it doesn't have the same sort of stuff on it. Like, there's this. It's supposed to have magnetic suction, or just magnetically pulls and snaps. And then there's this. What's going on back here? The hell's happened here? Or do we still have triggers? It looks like you have a thing to loop in straps. To not lose straps on them or something. I don't know. It's weird. What is this? And you're only showing them from the side. Oh, is that because of the button place? Oh, maybe that's for the button on the... What is this button right here? The thing right here. What is that for? Is that to release it? You know, because we have a little button right now that releases. So maybe. Maybe. Again, I don't know if any of this is true. And then we come to something like this, and I'm like, this doesn't look legit. This looks like some douchebag who just threw something together and tossed it on a desk. This doesn't feel legit, people. This feels fake as hell. And people are falling for it. It's just a bunch of elaborate shit put together based on leaks and rumors. That's what it feels like. This doesn't feel like anything Nintendo's done. This doesn't feel legit. Also, the fact that there's no crosspad. Give us a goddamn crosspad. Stop trying to make this thing a device where multiple people will use it. It's not going to fucking happen. I never shared my Switch with anyone except for when it was docked. That was it. Give us a fucking crosspad, you fucking idiots. I hate sitting here calling Nintendo fucking idiots, but they're fucking idiots. People have been clamoring for a crosspad. We don't care about this shit. We like that we can remove them from the dock, but we're not handing it off to another fucking person. We're buying extra controllers because people don't like this shit. Back when I first got my Switch, I would use the little grip and slide them into the grip and play it like a regular controller. I didn't have all this shit going on. In fact, out in public, I didn't. This is Nintendo's focus on family shit, where they want you to hand off to another person and play. Nobody gives a shit, Nintendo. Nobody does this shit. It doesn't get done. People don't find that shit comfortable. People buy extra controllers. They buy the pro controllers and shit. They don't do this fucking malarkey. I can guarantee you that they don't. If there are people that do it, they're few and far between. Oh my God. See, I don't feel like this is legit. It just doesn't feel legit. Doesn't feel legit at all. It feels fake as hell. Like, what is all this shit? I can't believe it for a second. Yeah, this is what they're saying it's going to look like. It's got this whole flap on the back. Which, didn't they redo the current Switch to have the flap? Because that was an issue? The one that was there was an issue? Oh, God. We've got all this above here. Another vent thing, of course. It does look too much like the current Switch. Okay. I am telling you right now, I don't believe any of this. I just... Reasonable doubt. I have reasonable doubt that this is real. I don't think for a second that this shit is real. Because I get the feeling Nintendo learned a lesson when it came to the Joy-Cons. I don't think they're going to have buttons like that. I think they're going to have crosspad. They're just going to... if they were smart, they would have a crosspad. If they were smart. Of course, this is Nintendo. They're not that smart. They don't listen to the public. The public can sit there and say, do this. Trust me, this is a great idea. This is what you should do. And they still won't do it, even though if anybody's going to understand your shit deeper than you understand it, and deeper than what you're creating, it's the consumer. Listen to the consumer. I don't think this is it. Not for a second. But in other news, let's see if we can find that information. I think it was posted here. Yeah. So Liam Robertson, a lot of developers got invited to the Nintendo of America the other day. Video game researcher, not researching, you idiot. Video game researcher Liam Robertson has mentioned on new social network Blue Sky. I'm tempted to go to Blue Sky. I'm so sick of Twitter. I'm so sick of it, or X, whatever. But a number of developers descended upon Nintendo of America headquarters yesterday. These developers appear to be smaller developers, and speculation is mounting online that they may have been invited to see the successor to the popular Nintendo Switch. It is not entirely clear why they were all invited, but this seems a plausible explanation. So, around that time that this was posted the other day, there was also the guy who runs Limited Run. he was at Nintendo headquarters and posted a picture of being outside the headquarters at a sign. You know, the Nintendo headquarters big gold sign that says Nintendo. He was there. The guy that's the head of Limited Run. Say what you will about the ding dong, but yeah, he was there. Um, Along with some other developers. Apparently, they were indie though. From what I understand, they were indie. I don't know if I can read this over on Blue Sky. I love how it's a blue logo, kind of like it looks a lot like old Twitter. I love it. I love old Twitter. Wow. Yeah, Liam Roberts. Liam Robertson. Can I do a search on here? This looks a lot like Twitter. I'm sorry. Not sorry. It does look like Twitter. Liam Robertson, blah, blah, blah. What am I doing? Like, I wanted to look at this. I think I can just kind of go over here and click it and it'll pop up. Here we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We all know Limited Run Games was there, but who else? So, you think we can see Switch 2 in this month or next? It's probably more likely this week or next. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't really think so. I want to move away from this. I didn't want my video to be that long. It's already 21 minutes long. I do think we're going to see a reveal before the year's over. People are like, but they revealed bundles. It's bundles for the current Switch. It doesn't mean shit when they already announced that we're going to be getting a new console. It's going to be launched next year. We know all this information that they already cannibalized their sales of the current Switch by announcing that much. So it's not out of the question that they would go ahead and talk about the new Switch this year. Say this is the device, it'll be launching next year, blah 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 blah. And I could see it happening at TGS. I could see them giving a teaser at TGS, not really giving us a whole lot of information, and then having a big a big reveal next year. A teaser this year, a big reveal next year. Something to get people talking. I could see that happening. I could see that happening. And I do see that happening. I do think that's what's going to happen. But go ahead and tell me what you think in the comment section. I know there's going to be a lot of young idiots thrashing me because they always do. Verbally thrashing me. They don't like what I have to say about anything. But this has been The Goof. You all have a great one. See you later.